Hi, this is Professor Shaw and Monster Puppet, and we're going to talk to you about the meaning of polls today. This is just going to be a quick bare bones review. If you wanted any more details, then you'd have come to class. Don't say that. It's true. We're going to start with the most important stuff first. What does a poll mean? And journalists don't know. They always get this wrong in the headlines. Or do they do it on purpose? Ooh, conspiracy. I don't think people get this wrong on purpose, but they do get it wrong. All right. So what we're going to do is we are going to talk about polls. And we're going to start with the big important result right up front, because you don't want to watch too much of this. So just get the gist. If somebody publishes a poll result, okay, if it's legit, they will include a margin of error. So the first thing you ever do when you are going to see a poll, you are going to check to see if they include a margin of error. Because if they don't, then you just know that the poll is crap. Because if it's legit, they'll include a margin of error. Yeah, they may hide it. But any article you see, articles, you're so old. Sorry. Any Facebook, Facebook. I don't know what the kids, TikTok. So if you're watching a TikTok video and they present a poll, as they're wont to do. Well, anyway, if it's legit, they will include a margin of error and you just have to find it. The big result is we're 95% sure that the real answer is within one margin of error of the poll result, because they might be different. Yeah, well, they probably will be because a poll is just a sample. The only real way to find the truth would be to ask everybody there, and you don't have time and money for that. There's a 5% chance that the poll is way off, 2.5% that you're above the range, 2.5% that you're below that range. Okay, that's our main result. And now we're going to show you how to use this to interpret a poll. So here's a hypothetical example. We poll a bunch of UNI students and ask them, do you like mushrooms? And the result is 60% say yes, 40% say no, and the margin of error is 10%, and they write plus or minus 10%. What does this poll say? That's obvious. It says 60% like mushrooms. But that's not actually what it says. Okay, it also says that 40% don't. That's not what the poll says. That's not what that means. It's what it says. No, but it's not what it means. Oh, gosh. On Sesame Street, they never had such problems, but they couldn't say shit on Sesame Street. Don't swear. I didn't technically. Here's what that poll actually means. It means we are 95% sure that between 50 and 70% of students like mushrooms. So you take the yes, you add and subtract 10%, that gives you an interval. Yes, very good. And you're 95% sure that you're in that interval. Okay, Monster Puppet, how are they going to interpret 95%? 19 out of 20 times. See, I'm good. All right. And so that means there's a 2.5% chance that it'll be more than 70 and 2.5% chance that it'll be less than 50%. And that's what the poll actually means. So let me make sure I get this. Okay. I'm not smart like freaking Grover. Okay, fine. Better look. I get the ladies. Stop that. All right. So the poll says 60% yes. You add and subtract the margin of error. That gives you an interval. And you're 95% sure you're there in that interval. Yes, Monster Puppet. Very good. So now let's do a not hypothetical example. So this is something that was on your MySpace. No, it was on my Facebook feed. Grandpa. This was actually from the Des Moines Register. There was a governor election and in October 2018, a month before the election, the poll said, well, the headline said, Democrat Fred Hubbell narrowly leads Republican Kim Reynolds in the governor's race. And what you're seeing there is the actual clip from the article. Okay, so what's the first thing you do is you find the margin of error. Do you see it? You see the margin of error there? Right there. It's in small print, but it's there. Okay. So it looks like it's Fred Hubble 43%, Kim Reynolds 41%, and that's why they said that Fred Hubble is ahead. But is he? Let's find out. So this is the calculation that we want to make. And this is something that I hope that you will actually do whenever you see a poll in the newspaper. So Hubble's support, I'm going to take his percentage and add and subtract the 4.3 margin of error, and that gives me 38.8 to 47.2. So we know that Hubble's support, I'm 95% sure that Hubble's support is in that range. Then I add and subtract the margin of error to Kim Reynolds' number, and I get 36.8 to 45.2. Okay. Well, so it looks like Hubble's ahead. What are you going on about? No, but look at those two intervals. The key idea here is that they overlap. The point is, we don't know who's ahead because those intervals overlap. Show them a graphic. Okay, I will. I'm not doing this because Monster Puppet told me to. I'm doing it because I think this will help. So here's what I saw. Here's the article. I noticed that Hubble was at 43 and Reynolds was 41. I found the margin of error. I added and subtracted it. The blue bar on top is Hubble's possible support. I'm 95% sure he's in there. Okay. And then the bottom bar is Reynolds' support. And I'm 95% sure that she's there. It could be that Hubble's is ahead, or it could be that Hubble is here and Reynolds is here and Reynolds is ahead. So the correct headline would be, we just spent a fortune on a poll and it told us nothing. That's the correct headline. This particular poll means we don't know who's ahead, but that doesn't make a good headline. That's a bad one. Stay in math. Don't be like a newspaper person. Do you mean publisher? Maybe. Okay. So that's what it means. All right. Now's a good time to stop if you're bored, because he's going to get into like a less important thing. But it's still going to be on the homework. Oh, it's still going to be on the homework. Listen up, kids. Still on the homework. What if you want to be more than 95% sure of a poll result? 95% is cool if you're just sitting around trying to predict things. But if you're really, really taking this seriously, you can get 99.7% accuracy. So someone publishes a poll. If it's legit, they will include a margin of error. If you want to be more than 95% sure that you know what you're talking about, we are 99.7% confident that the true answer is within 1.5 times the margin of error of the poll result, which means there's a 0.15% we're above and 0.15% that we're below. But that's practically nothing. Exactly. He should have put me on before switching cameras. Okay. No, so right. So you're almost positive that you're within that range. So if you want 99.7% confidence, take the margin of error, which should be in the poll, multiply it by 1.5, do your adding and subtracting trick, and then you have 99.7% confidence. So same poll, you and I students, do you like mushrooms? Same result. If I want to be 99.7% sure of what I'm saying, I'm going to take my 10%, multiply by 1.5 to get 15, and add and subtract 15. So I'm 99.7% sure that between 45 and 75% of the solution students like mushrooms, with a very small chance that more than 75 or less than 45. But the trade-off is, think about what a big interval 45 and 75% is. So you gain confidence, but you lose usefulness. Like some mushroom grower says, hey, do you and I students like mushrooms? And then this guy is like, I'll do a poll, whatever, right? I don't like it when you imitate me. I'll do a poll or whatever. I'm bald. And so Doug goes ahead, does this poll, and he tells the mushroom growers, I'm almost positive that between 45 and 75% like mushrooms, and they're like, that's not useful. Right. So if you go with the 99.7%, it's not as useful because the interval tends to get big. So when you see a poll in the newspaper, add and subtract the margin of error. That gives you a range, and you know you're 95% confident, 19 out of 20, that you're within that range. And if the headline doesn't reflect that fact, it's a bad headline. And thank you all very much. Okay, so bare bones review. All right. So what we're going to start with is, what are you doing here? I've got bare bones. Bare bones. I'm a bear.